When I tell you that the 2K19 stretch 4s are back, I mean it. This build is 7 feet tall, can shoot limitless range, easily hit step backs from 3, and then not only that, but it can also get contact dunks on a pure stretch. Let me show you how to make it. And don't worry if your jump shot's broke, I got that problem taken care of as well. I got the best big man jump shot towards the end of this video that you guys are going to see, but you got to stick around and make sure you actually get that jumper. I swear you will not miss after you equip this jumper, but let's get started. All right, so right here, as you can see, these are going to be the physicals. Height 7 foot, wingspan 7 foot, weight no higher, no lower than 256. You need that 93 defensive rebound. That's going to get you gold rebound chaser on this build. Body shape doesn't matter. I think I went with solid on the build, but you can go with any of these, but we'll just stick with the one that I made. So solid. When it comes to the finishing, let's get this driving dunk up to an 84. That's going to unlock you the pro contact dunks. You can't get silver posterizer on this version of the build. However, considering the fact that this build is practically a pure stretch, the fact that you could even get contact dunks on this build is insane. Standing dunk, bring this up to a 75. Don't make the mistake I made. I didn't bring this up to a 75, so I can't use the Giannis or Karl Anthony Towns dunk packages on my build, but I highly recommend you use that. Driving layup, let's get this up to an 80. Nothing else with the finishing. Close shot, we're not going to upgrade at all because, again, this builder is limited, and you got to understand with this type of build, you're not going to be really trying to paint mash, okay? You're going to be taking threes, trying to drive to the lane, hitting a driving layup, a driving dunk, or some sort of shot creating in the mid-range. Shooting, three-pointer, max this all the way out. And here's the special thing. Look at this. You get Agent 3s, which is this year's Circus 3s, as a tier 1 badge, which means you can use this immediately. Not only that, but you also get limitless range on gold, which is huge on this build. Mid-range, we're going to bring this up to an 81 for now. This is going to get you Mini Magician on Hall of Fame. We'll come back to it later. I think I upgraded it a little bit farther than 81. Moving on to the playmaking, pass accuracy, we're going to bring this all the way up to an 80. Yeah, that's going to get us gold dimer. We're going to bring it up to an 80. I feel like that's a good spot to have it. It's close to an 85, which is where the gold bullet passer threshold was last year, but bullet passer is a removed badge this year, but I think 80 is going to be a sweet spot on this build. The rest of the playmaking is pretty much going to get untouched. Now moving on to the physicals, stamina 95, vertical to a 75, strength we're going to bring up to an 82, and then we're going to max out acceleration and speed. Now on to the defense, 93 defensive rebound. This gets you rebound chaser on gold. Block, we're going to increase all the way. You have a couple options here. You can go with an 87. This gets you anchor on silver, which is this year's rim protector. You can go up to an 88, which will get you chase down artists on Hall of Fame, or you can bring it all the way up to a 93, which gets anchor on gold. Like I said, that's this year's rim protector. Interior defense, I would say either an 80 or an 82. That's going to get you workhorse on a Hall of Fame. Perimeter defense, max it out. And then steal. Okay, so here's my thing. I want to mention this very quickly because everybody's upgrading their steal like crazy. Remember, going for interceptor type animations this year are going to take away one full stamina bar. So I don't think interceptor is going to be as valuable of a badge this year because, well, you literally just can't spam it. Not only that, but you can't even get silver interceptor on this build, so we're just going to leave this at the minimum basically. And then at this point, we can come back up here. You can max out whatever you want at this point, maybe increase your standing dunk a little bit. I don't think you need to do that, but that's definitely something you can do. Maybe increase the driving layup a little bit more. What I ended up doing was I increased the midi, and how I have my build is I have the version with the 88 block, and I have my mid-range maxed out because, again, this build is a stretch and we got to take advantage of that. So the final badge spread is 14, 27, 11, and 21. Once you finalize this build, your options for take are sharp and rim. I'm going to go double limitless on this build. That's going to complete the build. And when you get to this portion, you're going to get shades of Derek Coleman, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Wendell Carter Jr., and the build name Stretch 4. Now, let me show you guys what badges I recommend you use on this build. So I think you should use Slithery on silver. Make sure that you get your limitless takeoff. And that's another big thing with these bigger builds. Limitless takeoff is a tier 1 badge, so it's very cheap to get. Make sure you get posterizer on bronze, even though that's like the best you can get. Realistically, any of these tier 3 badges, except for bully, I don't think are necessary, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. Get badges like Fearless Finisher as well. Now, at this point in time, you cannot get the bully badge. However, when you finish the intro storyline to the game and you become a starter on your team, you're going to get +4 badge points, which you could put in any single category. Highly recommend you put it in finishing so you can start unlocking some of these better tiers of badges so you can use bully on this build. But with the final 4, I guess we can kind of just throw it there for now. Moving on to the shooting, this is the best part. Limitless range, we're gonna use that as a core badge. And then the rest of these, maybe corner specialist. Yeah, we'll use corner specialist as our core badge. And then we'll come down here and I need mini magician on Hall of Fame, base creator on Hall of Fame. Base creator is really, really good this year. It's gonna help you make a lot of step back shots. I've been using it and it really helps. I've been only using it on silver, but I think Hall of Fame is gonna be insane. Agent 3s as well. Get that on gold. You're gonna be a shot creator on a 7-footer. I think Green Machine is gonna be a big deal this year because you shoot a white, you're not gonna make it. So you're gonna need Green Machine to help you out, make sure you can hit consecutive greens. And then now I think we can actually use a tier 3. We'll use that on limitless range. And then if you want, you can try and finesse a couple badge points away from the tier 1 and tier 2 badges to get catch and shoot. But I would rather have something like Green Machine or volume shooter because those will help with all types of shots instead of just your catch and shoot situations. So with the final 3 badge points, we'll put it on volume shooter. I like volume shooter. It's a very good badge. It was good last year. Very underrated badge. Playmaking, handles for days on bronze. You can use clamp breaker. You can use break starter is a big one. And then you can use a badge like bailout. And then again, you're not really going to get any of the tier 3 badges here, but none of them are actually really good anyways, aside from diamond. Playmaking was the one weakness of this build. Mismatch expert would make no sense. Just put it on floor general. How about your team a little bit? Defense, here we go. Chase down artist. I recommend bronze right now. I feel like defense at this point in the game is going to be a lot of hands up defense. Blocks are very costly when it comes to your stamina. And not only that, they're not that effective this year. So the goal for you as a defender is to get in proper positioning and use hands up defense. So make sure you're holding up on your right stick. You can run interceptor on bronze if you want. You can run challenger on bronze. That'll help if you switch onto the guard. Make sure you get a good perimeter shot contest. We could get box out beast. How many badges have we used now? That's 8. Use workhorse. And now we still have 9 points available. We're going to core rebound chaser, and then we're going to equip anchor. And then we have 3 badge points remaining. Can take a couple away from here if we want. Let's do something like this. That's going to be it for the badge portion of this video. But now let me give you all the jump shot. All right, so here's the jump shot. You're going to need at least an 84 midi or 84 3-pointer to get this Joel Embiid base. Release 1, release 2, Dirk Nowitzki, and make sure you go into your settings and set the shot timing to the earliest time possible. And you're going to want to let this go the moment his arm snaps up at a full 90-degree angle, as you can see. This will become more obvious when you're playing with it because it has a very snappy motion, and that's when you want to let it go. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed.